and victory. Victory shall be mine on that glorious day, my brothers, as it shall be yours.
My girlfriends, they think I need to tone it down a little. If you're getting my drift here.
I'll lie through my teeth to get to where I am, and by God, I need a dentist.
How many? How many? I mean, forgive me because this is an old one. But how many non-smokers do we have in here tonight?
Where else? Where else but here would you barter heaven for earth?
Hero worship is a slippery slope. Never put somebody up on a pedestal for all of eternity. That road ends only in disappointment. Inevitable and soul-crushing disappointment. This was a sound advice given to me years ago by Rambo, of course. Mind you, in those days he himself was enough of a hero in my eyes. Enough for me to commit to memory something which he said on a perfectly horrid evening. Nothing is sadder than the empty stage.
Well, well, Meenakshi Goswami, as I live and rule.
One thing that I know for a fact, you've never called me that. I'm still that clumsy with Maggie.
So is this why we're doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the recorder and everything. I thought you and I could just talk.
It's a bit stuffy in here, isn't it? I mean, the last time you followed me around with that camera of yours, there were big fucking trees in the shots, you remember?
Yeah. How can I forget that?
Well, you can at least let me light up Maggie. Remind me of those good old days, huh?
Sure. Be my guest.
Rambo! Poem. Now! I mean it.
Okay. Be my guest. Be my guest. I'm gonna go with the flow now. So be my guest. I'm gonna put on a show now. So be my guest. You wanna ask me questions about good and bad, about life and death? Be my guest. Because I ain't biting. You want to hem and haw, you want to rave and rant, tilt at the windmills, be my guest. But bring the popcorn, will you? Because I don't want to hear one word. Not one word about my brothers and sisters. I don't want to hear anything. Nothing about those dirty pictures, those dirty bombs, those dirty deals. Because I don't give a shit if a bunch of kids in Africa miss their damn midday meals. I don't give a rat's ass about that financial crisis. It's all Greek and Latin to me, sister. I put my money where my mouth is. And Rambo isn't a fan of the sinister. Stay with me. Stay with me now. Stay with me. Be my guest. I am going to go with the flow now. So stay with me and be my guest. Lighten up. Loosen out. Take a trip down memory lane. Remember. Just remember that time. Remember when you had the world at your feet. Remember that hour of victory, that moment of triumph, that elusive moment that made you feel complete. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Well, forget it. Forget it all. Forget it now. Erase it from your hard drives, people. Erase it now, because memory is not a warm seat by the fireplace. No. Memory is not, does not appease. Memory does not offer solace. Memory is cold. Memory is cold. Memory is cruel. As my friend, the great Mr. Updike once said, the memory of being first rate at something, sure does take the kick out of being second rate at anything.
Rambo. Rambo.
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
I said, why poetry? I mean, with your charisma and your presence, you could have tried your hands at, conventional theatre or maybe even movies, but why poetry?
Why poetry? What do you mean?
I mean, how does it feel to be up there doing your thing? I want to know, what does a poem do to you?
When I first stood on stage to recite a poem I'd written, I was scared shitless, of course. And up towards the end of the show, some idiot stands up and says, "Bravo, you are as poetic as Stallone." And that was that. I came to be known as Rambo from that day on. But you know what got me by during those early days? Was my favorite poem, In Memoriam by Lord Tennyson. What does a poem do, you ask me? कविता क्या करती है? कविता हृदय में कंघी करती है.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, well, that's because I didn't come up with it. Nothing new under the sun, my friend. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new at all.
I don't even know why I sought him out, this relic from our past. They told me he hadn't had an ounce of luck since college. Every theatre troupe, travelling band, or anything like that he'd ever been a part of threw him out without exception. I think he had always been the guy you came to love unconditionally. But I'm not sure if he'd ever been the chap you simply like.
Number two. Yes, that's right. Yes, it was supposed to be that. No, I did not know about the time limit. Yes, I understand it's only meant to be a filler. But if you could just listen to the whole thing once. I mean, cutting it off in the middle would just totally mess with the flow, No, I can't dance. No, listen to me. This is a spoken word performance. It's not bring your own pelvis party. No. I don't think reciting the poem in drag would affect the performance that much. Okay, yeah, I understand, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Rambo and I have 4 words for you. 4 words and 4 words only. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Ease your mind. Go with the flow and take it down.
Rambo was never the kind to offer much pep talk, even to wide-eyed kids like me who were just looking to bask in some reflected glory. And yet, it was Rambo who nudged me to take the big leap. Told me very simply, Maggie, if you want to be making films, then you have to be a filmmaker. As simple as that. Just keep it simple, he said. Just go with the flow.
Just go with the flow.
So, when did you decide to be a poet, Rambo?
When did I decide? Oh yeah, you mean like I was lying down naked in a bathtub one day and I just suddenly shout out, Eureka!
I mean, when did you know that it worked for you? I mean, what does a poem do to you?
What does a poem do? A poem sets me free. It pushes me to break my inertia. It begs and pleads and bullies and cajoles me to give in to it. And when I do give in to its rhythm entirely, I'm soaring on high on the wings of a dream, man. You get it on the wings of a dream. But that is if the poem is good, mind you. Because for every true wordsmith, there are 1,000 pretenders for his crown out there. And more often than not, you will encounter a person who will force you to acknowledge that inevitable fact. The fact that there is nothing new under the sun. Nothing new at all.
This is not an underdog story. Or if it was, nobody told Rambo. Poetic justice is an ideal seldom attained in the real world. Rambo didn't exactly take the world by storm with his verses and his charm. But you see, he didn't have to. When I first met Rambo, I was at that age when it's all too easy to find heroes everywhere around. Given the turbulent streams of my own existence, it wasn't difficult to fathom why I soon learned to go with his flow. And yes, I'll say it again. In my eyes, he was a hero. Wasn't it Rilke who said, "The hero is strangely close to those who died young"? Lasting doesn't contain him. Being is his ascent. He moves on, time and again, to enter the changed constellation his risk entails. Few could find him there, but destiny, that darkly hides us, suddenly inspired, sings him into the tempest of his onrushing world. I hear no one like him. All at once, I'm pierced by his darkened sound, carried on streaming air.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Simmer down, people, simmer down. Kick back, relax. Grab your cans out there. Go with the flow. Be my guest. I'm gonna ride on the show. Be my guest.